to get together with some people. I know I got a lot of people that I jump with that are pretty good climbers, and they go to Horseshoe Canyon quite a bit up in Arkansas
Yeah.
and whatnot. My mother lives 5 minutes from the entrance to the Gunks up in New York.
Oh, cool.
Chris and I went and climbed up there once. We spent like a week up there a few years back. But so yeah, man, I just haven't been traveling anywhere, and it has nothing to do with COVID. I just haven't been traveling. So
Yeah. Yeah. So the rock types are different. Like you hit up East Coast rock, because I've done New Hampshire, a few places in Massachusetts, and I don't like the East Coast rock, man.
Yeah.
Like
Up in New York, it's mostly granite that I know that what we were mostly on in the Gunks was granite, but it was so overclimbed that everything was super slick. It wasn't near as tacky as the granite that we get in the Wichitas up in Oklahoma, or even Enchanted Rock. Enchanted Rock is some pretty good tacky stuff, but I think some of that is sandstone along with the granite that's up there. So
Enchanted Rock.
yeah, isn't it?
Okay. I don't remember, man. I haven't hit up Enchanted Rock for a while.
Yeah.
I did a trip out there where there's like the backside of the dome,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like a trad,
Yeah.
multi-pitch kind of deal. Super easy. I mean, the ledge is massive. I mean, you could have probably free soloed it or something, but it was just, we were getting cycles on the gear. That was like at the early days of me doing trad and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, setting pro when you're doing trad is a little unnerving when you first start doing it. I still don't feel good about setting, especially with setting it and then building an anchor at the top. I'm just like, I don't need to kill two people. But yeah, I mean, I much prefer cleaning, so that way I don't have to worry about what I built and if it doesn't work, and so
Yeah. Well, it's a comfort level thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like, for me, unless I know I'm with a trad person that's like super seasoned on it, I'd prefer to set the anchor.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I know that I'm going to be like super anal about it. And
I mean, it's gonna work.
yeah, exactly. 3 pieces of pro, it's going to be equalized and balanced and all, I'm going to make sure. And like, that's the thing why I don't do trad so much, because it just takes so damn long, man.
Yeah.
It takes so damn long to set the anchor.
And the equipment gets heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, climbing, any other way is not bad because it's just you, your harness, your shoes. But when you're walking up there and you've got, twice as much gear as you need just in case something fails or you drop it. I mean, you're trying to climb sometimes with an extra 30 or 40 pounds of gear. And it gets tiring, man. And it's so funny how top roping something and just running up it feels so different than leading the exact same route. You're just like,
The headspace is very different.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing knowing that when you fall, you're gonna fall.
Yeah.
If it's a 6 foot piece, then you're gonna fall 12 feet, and you're hoping it doesn't just smack you into the wall. There's definitely some mental aspect to that. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think the rock type, like getting back to like the East Coast versus West Coast rock or whatever.
yeah,
I'm thinking
it's
Rockies
gang
or
battles, man.
Well, but it's comfort level too. It's like, if you're on some bomber sandstone, dude, I can climb that shit all day long. I can climb. It feels like I can climb 2 grades harder because my feet are not going anywhere. It's like I'm on bulletproof. Especially that dark sandstone that's in like the Red Rock outside of Vegas. Like, dude, that stuff is solid, man. I mean, it's just it boosts confidence, man.
Yes.
It's like my confidence level is up. I feel like I'm faster with the gear. I feel like I'm faster on climbing. It just feels better. And so, I had a good time out east just because good company, good friends, and it's never a bad day when you're climbing. But it's like hitting that sandstone is always fun. But granite, dude, like, so I started out, I think similar to you. Did you start out in the Wichitas?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went with Chris. The first time I ever climbed outside was with him 12, 14 years ago, something like that, up in the Wichitas, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Granite, and that's my first outside, too, is hitting up the Wichitas.
Yeah.
And then
Lower Mount Scott.
Yeah.
That's where everybody starts.
That's the starting point, man. I mean, it's a great spot. You get out of the car and you walk 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and it's like, and then there you are. But so learning trad on Granite, like that's, and I feel like I've kind of devolved from there because now I want to do sport on sandstone, and I want the conditions to be nice and stuff. And I think ultimately I just want to maximize my climbing.
Yeah.
And so if in a day I can get like, 12 to 15 single pitch routes in or something, that's probably a big day.
That's a lot.
Yeah. My bad. No. If I can get like eight pitches in, single pitch routes in a day, like that's a good day. And, and so, but if I'm doing trad, I'd rather just do multi-pitch.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're going to get it. I mean, getting up there and then having to wrap down and all that stuff. So
yeah,
no, I agree. I'd rather do, even if it's just a 3-pitch route, I'd rather do that than do a whole bunch of single pitch routes. Just because I feel more accomplished, I guess, man. It's like how many people, there's a lot of people that have never even climbed real rock, much less do a single pitch anyway. And so, it's nice getting out there and doing that kind of stuff. And just, you feel like you're one with nature. So
I am connected to the rock. Yeah.
So,
well, I did, you got to get out to, have you done Potrero Chico?
No, that's
Mexico?
what I was talking about. We were supposed to go. It got rained out. So.
Oh, okay. So that place is badass, man.
Yeah.
Like I went back earlier this year in January, I think, and it wasn't as great of a trip because I went solo.
Oh, yeah.
And I picked up some, just climb with some hippies I found. And there's I stayed at one place with Chris, and that was kind of like a quieter place. There's the other place that's like the spot, man. Like all the climbers are staying there, and we didn't know that at the first time. So the second time, I hung out there, and I just went there in the morning, and I just said, hey man, anybody, like, that's the cool thing about the climbing community, like, hey, anyone need a partner or something? And so I found it was actually a group of 3 girls, and they were all friends from someplace, and they're like, yeah, you can join us. And so partnered up with them, but they weren't multi-pitching, so I was like, oh man, okay, no worries.
At least you got on something, though.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing, that's like you said, everybody's just looking to share, which is cool.
Yeah.
Share the rock, share the community kind of thing. So
yeah, but there's a thing you got to try, man. It's a nickname, the shark fin, or I don't remember the name of the route, but there's a 4-pitch. It's pretty cruiser. It's like a 10A or something like that, and you get to the top of it, and the ledge, it's a shark fin, so it's a vertical face on both sides, like all the way down. So there's like several routes, but there's this one where we climbed up to it, and we had lunch on the top of this thing, and it's cool. And there's like a sheer face
on either side,
on both sides, and we're just kind of hanging out on top of this thing, having lunch, and we're just a few hundred feet up or something like that, and just
awesome.
Looking down at the canyon below, and it's a badass place to go.
Yeah.
Go do some climbing.